I hope you are not there to disturb. This is why we always believe that. I think we always believe that 10 o'clock is the time you should leave the house. I know 10 o'clock is when people want to see you on there.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Oga, morning. We are already running late. So. We are running late. So. And they will still gather there. Okay, please come. Who's Michael? Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Honorable Minister. What is that? He'll need help. Somebody quickly help him.
From there, from down, from. I hope it's not sinking to the flags. All right, gentlemen, please. We want absolute silence during the course of the program. FCT, His Excellency NYESOM WIKE is the edition for the month of August, and we are here. You soon get to meet members of the panel, but first, let's welcome the host, the Honorable Minister. Good to see you. You're looking refreshed.
You too.
Do I add doctor to the title now? Congratulations on that award.
Thank you very much.
Right. Okay. With your permission, let me introduce members of the panel here. To my immediate right here is a new face that you're probably meeting for the first time, Dr. Festus Adedayo. Dr. Adedayo is member editorial board, Tribune, Nigeria's oldest surviving private newspaper. Over 70 years old, I think. Good to see you, Festus. Festus is also a lawyer, by the way. And of course, sitting next to Festus is also another new face joining us for the first time on this chat. Omorua Adesua. Omorua is news anchor, Arise News. Good to see you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Minister.
And of course, on the other side of the aisle, to the minister's immediate left, is a very known face, Makwe Oguyusu. Good to see you, Makwe.
Good to see you too.
Makwe is of China. I thought that's too common for me to be emphasizing.
Well, you can never overemphasize it.
All right. Makwe Oguyusu, Channels TV.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Chijoke Okafor is also a very known face to you, sir. It's of ADBN. Chijoke, welcome.
Thank you. Good to see you again, Honorable Minister.
The last member of the panel here, a new face as well. Chijoke, I'm sorry, Asupo James. Asupo is of TVC News.
Nice to meet you.
All right, Honorable Minister, let's, like I said, you look very refreshed. After a month of commission, a few days of rest, you look refreshed. But then I know that something must be cooking. So what do we expect after the commission? What should Abuja people expect?
Well, having commissioned does not mean that our work has ended. What we commissioned is to celebrate the second year anniversary of Mr. President in office. Of course, there are still more works to be done. More works are going on. And we do expect that after some time, we will also invite you to flag off further projects that are having positive impact or will have positive impact on the lives of the residents and business people in Abuja. So many that I cannot really read out. But I do know that we have ongoing the road from Pai to Gomani. We have the Dende road. We have the Kasara road where you have the New Hope Agenda Housing Estate. We have the Court of Appeal Division, Court of Appeal Abuja Division going on. We have the Justices' Quarters of the Federal High Court, the FCT High Court, and the Court of Appeal Division Abuja. We have 10 flats which we believe before the end of this year were completed for the Nigerian Law School Abuja. And so other projects like the continuation of the M5, we have the and so many other. We have Kente, Takushila Road going on. So many things to be done, and other things like the rural water, which will be taking place, which will be concentrating the Kubwa, Kauru, and part of Buhari's project of Litop Abuja. Of course, you know that Abuja will 50 years by February next year, which is like a jubilee year. We remember when Mr. President traveled to China, we just signed a memorandum of understanding with CGC and ECC, where they will provide, because we've had problems about contractors or districts and the one in charge of the street lights, today vandalization, tomorrow that. So we try to see how we can once and for all tackle this issue, and we came up with this very formidable companies assuring us that they will have to provide security device and to maintain it for 4 or 5 years without us going back to pay, or this have been vandalized, this bomb has been stolen, and all kinds of things. So we think that will help us a lot to take over the entire streets in the city, and then we can now allow other people to go into the rural areas to provide some solar power for them. So many things to be done. And we are doing a lot of rehabilitation of schools. So many. So the work is endless. But we believe by the grace of God that will all continue. But for information, I've not taken any break since after the commissions. 2 weeks, 16 good days. Of course, I don't know how many people will have survived that, but I will still find out time to take my time to go and rest. It's very, very important. Yes, that's where we are.
Okay, Honorable Minister, that's quite a mouthful. I know you have been inundated with acclamations, if you like, in the last how many years that you've been in office. People have spoken about your the infrastructural revolution that you've been able to bring in the FCT. However, your critics are not relenting. What they are saying is that you're concentrating on the brick and mortar of governance, infrastructure, and as a form of showmanship. They are saying that you've neglected some more enduring aspect of governance. They talked about inclusive urban planning, stakeholders engagement and consultation, and that that's what you're prefacing in this government. Are you not bothered?
Bothered of what? I mean, from the question you asked, that provider of infrastructure is showcasing, is just playing to the gallery. Urban planning. How do you provide infrastructure without urban planning? It's unfortunate that we are not engaging with stakeholders. How would he know when we engage stakeholders? We are aware that when we came on board, it has never happened that we have to visit all the 6 area councils, where we start with the youths, start with traditional rulers, start with the women. And that was the first time that we say, look, this is our major priority. You also remember how the youth secretary was created by Mr. President. How the women secretary was created. It was never in existence in Abuja. It was as a result of interaction with stakeholders, which are carried to Mr. President, and Mr. President is William approved the creation of this secretary. So when people talk about non-engagement of stakeholders, who are the stakeholders? I hope you don't say a stakeholder is somebody who will be shouting on national television that I'm not inviting him or her. That is not correct. That is not correct. So the engagement of stakeholders, I'm happy when anyone likes when they say infrastructure. Who are those you are using the roads there? What drives the economy of any country? What makes investors to come to say, look, we are willing to invest? Will an investor come and provide infrastructure? Will an investor come and provide roads? When these things are not in place, it will not encourage anybody to come. Because these are the primary things first that an investor will see and say, yes, I want to establish an institution here. Is there any access to that? I want to establish a private hospital here. Are there roads? I want to set up a manufacturing. I want to do mechanized agric. I agree. Are there access roads in case that will bring in this produce to the city? So people just, for purposes of criticizing when they don't have anything to say. I will use one local thing we normally say in my place. And pardon me to say that, my people say, if you don't have anything to say against somebody, you use one that will say as him be. Because you have nothing to say. I mean, you must appreciate when a government has done well. You don't need to like the person in charge. By the grace of God, you have turned on an infrastructure revolution in Abuja. That means the government of Mr. President is working. At least, let's step from here. So, appreciate that. And we have not said that we would have solved the entire problems within 2 years. Where has it happened? This is a government that inherited so much problems. And we are doing all our best, taking time to fix them. And suddenly within 2 years, something you have not done for 10 years, 20 years, since 1999, within 2 years, everything must have been fixed. That must be a miracle. I put my hand on here and say, be healed. And you are healed. It's not possible. It's not possible. Yes.
Honorable Minister, it's interesting that you mentioned rehabilitation of schools.
Yeah.
You talked about more projects that are coming. Because like my colleague mentioned earlier, the criticism has been that you've been focusing or leaning on physical infrastructure, which you're doing laudable well. People have been praising you for that, including connecting rural roads that have long been forgotten. However, when you mention school, I'm curious, perhaps you tell us more about some of the social development plans that you have beyond schools. Are there any? For instance, health, urban poverty, homelessness. What is the FCT doing in that regard?
I also want to appreciate, we just said here that people of that are doing well in terms of road, but have you also accepted, are you convinced that in terms of education, that we are doing something?
We don't know. That's what
You see,
people say they don't know.
That is why.
The
important thing is that I want to give a challenge to this, and I will plead that the Mandate Secretary of Education will fund the logistics, and give you 1 month. Go to the rural areas and the city and see the schools that have been rehabilitated and furnished. The problem is because we didn't go to commission. If I've gone to commission, you would allow this question. Because for me, I thought, well, look, what am I going to, commission, innovated schools, furnished schools, for me it's not important. Also, in terms of the social development, talking about in terms of the youth, we are seeing what we are doing in Yaya, the Youth Development Center. As we speak to you now, we are building 3 sports centers for our youth. One in, I think one in Guatemala, and then 2 in the city. We know that once we are focused on this, we are done with this, we move to the next. It's not just to scratch, let it be that at the end of the day, you scratch, nothing meaningful will come out of it. These are things that we are doing. Maybe it is not possible. It's not possible for us to say, look, we want to go and flag off for these projects, we want to go and commission on the project. It's not possible. We take what we think that, well, these are very, 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 very projects you spend billions on, that people should see what you've done, you know. But if the project where you are spending 1% billion and this and that, by the time we say what do we have commission to go with the mandate secretary of education, mandate secretary of social development, and then go and see things on ground. What we are not saying, and I continue to say that. I will not say here that every problem has been solved. All problems cannot be solved, even if this government is supposed to be.
Honorable Minister, that question on schools she took right out of my mouth, because there is a follow-up, and perhaps after this program I can show you some pictures with regards to the state of some schools in the area councils.
Let me just answer that. Yes. This is the problem we have always said. How many schools do we have in FCT? How many schools do we have?
Okay, well,
now, assuming we have about 10,000 schools, assuming. You go and take 3 schools that are bad. The mischief makers. For example, these schools you are talking about that are bad. When did they become bad?
You haven't let me ask my question.
No, I mean,
let me quickly ask the question. Perhaps you can put it in context. It's about the area councils.
Yes.
I mean, who are supposed to be responsible for primary education. Do they also have the mandate to build these primary schools? Are they directly under them? If they are, do they have the funds to do so, or are you intervening as
I will not answer why they have the funds. The primary school is a responsibility. 300-something million naira for the allocation. And then he gives IGR their own share of the 10% monthly they get. Assuming they get like 2.something billion, that 2% billion is shared among the 6 area council, but not on equal basis, based on your own contribution. So, assuming whatever gets additional 150 million now, or 200 million, as the case may be, that adds to the 300, 500 million. What's the salary structure? What's the salary of the staff of government for teachers and local government staff? It's more than 500 million. Now, if you expend that, what other money do you have to carry out other services? That's why there's a problem in our federal system, where you go to the headquarters, to the capital, and negotiate for minimum wage for states. 55,000 workers doing what? However, you can't take a step. That was all industrial crisis. But nobody talks about the funding. Where would this money come from? FCT area councils are not like other local government where you have for the oil produced states and what we only do alone is taxes. Remember, what comes to the FCT is 1% of the allocation of federal government. So if the federal government, for example, gets in a month 800 billion from the share of the inflation account, what they will pay to FCT is how much? 1% of 800 billion is how much? 8 billion.
So understanding, just a moment, just understanding the challenge that the area councils are facing, particularly in that area of education, because I can see that you're making some intervention efforts. Would you say that you would declare a state of emergency in the infrastructure around education, given just how decrepit and how long the backlog?
No. Declare a state of emergency to achieve what?
At least, will I say, decent infrastructure in the area of
you need to declare. That's why I quarrel. Somebody who says is a senator representing FCT. All when tested is you want to be invited. What job have you done? Ordinarily, as a senator representing the FCT and members of the House of Reps who are the FCT should make a special claim from the federal government. This is the capital of the country. Let me finish. There must be a special intervention for the federal capital. But there's nothing like that.
You're in a good place to make that request.
No, no, no. That's why, as a senator, as members of House of Reps, in the National Assembly, you start from there. Let people understand that yes, you are really speaking on their behalf.
Have you approached the senator to work with her?
I don't need to approach you. You went and said you want to go to Senate. You want to say you want to go to House of Representatives. Therefore, you should know the role you should play. It is not only coming to national television. It's not inviting me for commission of project. It's not inviting me for us to have a drink. That is not the job we're talking about.
Honorable Minister, let's talk about your image when it comes to the education sector in the FCT. You had mentioned that mischief makers are portraying the fact that you're not putting so much attention on the education sector in the FCT, and you're building bridges for showmanship. And you said that you don't publicize some of these works that you have been doing in the education sector due to the size of the projects as compared to the roads and bridges that you have been doing. Don't you think, Honorable Minister, that perhaps putting more attention or some certain level of attention on the education sector and the works that you're doing there would help your administration shut these mischief makers up?
That maybe you have misunderstood me. I didn't say the level of work we're doing is not the level. I'm saying probably because we have not gone to commissioning. It's not only commissioning that you can publicize to.
Do you have plans of commissioning anything, perhaps collectively, anytime soon?
I think I did say here that you are media people, and the Monday secretary will take you around for 1 month, and then you now see what you have done in education, and then you will speak to the people. Yeah. I hope I said that. So I don't know what you want. If I have in mind to do any commissioning or what, I'm giving you the assignment.
Maybe we should leave education and go to something else.
But again, I will also say, I don't see her a rational person. Somebody who has no mental problem will say that building bridges is a showman. I don't understand that. I don't understand, how do you go to school when there's no road? Some of you have complained that taking your children to school is a problem. Something that will take you 30 minutes will take you 2 hours. And the government has come to say no, this can continue. It has to be not even that 30 minutes, it has to be reduced to 20 minutes. Now you say it's a showman trying to show. Assuming we provide the entire schools to be good without roads, what do you do?
All right, we have so many issues to cover, so let's leave that and move to something else. Asuko.
Let's talk about that. I know that you've been making progress in terms of structural growth, but what of healthcare in the FCT?
Well,
I know that if you also concentrate on the hospitals and all, the residents will also be happy. Don't you think so?
in terms of what? Why do you think we're not doing? What do you think we're not doing in the health? That you think we should do?
No, like I know there are some councils that don't have general hospitals.
Must every council have a general hospital?
Or specialist hospital, for instance, rather than them coming down.
Is it the problem in Nigeria?
Maybe you should just
No. I'm coming. Take for example, I'm not the politics we play in this country that's so bad. In as much as I want to provide access to education, we don't want to talk about quality of education. Everybody wants a university to be his community. Nobody has asked. These two universities you have provided, what's the quality? All you are interested, let there be universities everywhere, but no quality. I would prefer that I have 3 universities, for example, and then you can talk about the quality of that university or schools. Now, we do the same thing you've not talked about in terms of general hospital. I don't know why anybody should think that within 2 years in office, you have provided general hospitals in all the area councils. That is not possible.
At least.
Except you're talking about the warehouses, what you would regard as hospitals, without the proper equipment that's supposed to be there. Today, we are trying to reconstruct the Otako that was abandoned general hospital. We are renovating the Wakwara General Hospital, and then again the one in Aguaripa. Go and see the doctor's quarters, the mess. Go and see the work that we're doing there. Like I said, this is just 2 years in office. It is not possible for you to turn around all the sectors. It is not possible. But that does not mean any sector should be neglected. And we are not neglecting. You just talk about the transport system. It is a chaotic. We are trying to see what we can do to put it in order, which we have started. But you know, I appreciate the problem that we have. Like I said before, things were so bad, and so a government has come. Let everything be solved now. And I appreciate the fact that because you are saying we are doing well, and therefore you believe that we should have done well in everything. No. We should take the government does not work that way. A government must be focused and targeting that. From this period to this period, this is what we are going to do in this area. From this period to the other period, this is what we are going to do in this area. That's how government is supposed to do. Not just a government comes.
I just hope the honorable minister understands what we are trying to do here, which is to reflect what the people say. The more you give to the people, the more they ask for.
I agree with you. I agree, but that's why I'm also answering that. That's why I'm also saying let the people also hear what we are doing, and this is the way government is supposed to do it. Not the way.
Do you think, sir, that it could be as a result of, because it would appear, and in fairness to you, you are not shy of interviews.
Yeah.
This conversation you have every month is regular and it's steady.
Yes.
However, people will say that your mandate secretaries should be out there taking questions, taking concerns, and explaining to the people as well what exactly is going on under their mandate.
So they are not satisfied of what I'm briefing them until when the mandate secretaries brief them.
You know, sometimes people will just want to hear from them.
You have your own time to go to them and ask them questions. You will not advise us how, in terms of public appearance, in terms of interviews. Take for example, you read newspaper, hear what the mandate secretary of health says.
So does your office, supervise this mandate secretary?
Oh, what I mean, this is very unfair. If you ask me whether my office supervises the mandate secretary, that would be very much unfair. How will I sit and approve fund? You know me very well. I sit and approve fund for you to utilize, and then you're asking me if I supervise. Do I do that somebody who will sit in the office? I mean, that would be unfair. That would be very unfair question to say if I supervise my commissioners.
Let me just check very quickly. What is so wrong if you stamp your face with perhaps one commissioning of a school project? We have seen you with so many roads, so many physical projects. What is so wrong if you do commission one school project?
So the anger of the people is that I have not gone to commission. Okay, let me promise them now. So can I promise them?
The people, from your submission.
Can I promise them?
Okay.
I promise you too. If that's what you want.
It's not me.
No. But what I think you? No. I have not said okay. To satisfy them, to satisfy you who asked the question, we'll take on 10 schools. As I live here, I'll tell the mandate secretary and tell the protocol to set up a program. Well, and of course, we won't do the ones in town. We'll have to go to the rural areas. And I hope you oblige us to also be there.
All right. Okay.
And two, we won't do it live.
Oh.
I hope you like that. Because you know where I'm going to. Because you know who benefits from the life coverage.
Let's go to something different. About 2 weeks ago or so, you signed an MOU for the Abuja City Walk.
Yep.
We understand that the Abuja City Walk is patterned after the Dubai City Walk. But for those of us who don't know what the Dubai City Walk is all about, I say us, for Abuja residents, we don't like to give an insight into what this Abuja City Walk brings to the table.
Yes, let me tell you. Let me tell you, it's most unfortunate what we find. The other one say leadership is key in anything you are doing. We are privileged. We are privileged to have traveled, and most of you too would have traveled. And then when you go to some of these cities, you see that. You say, wow, what is this? What's difficult that we cannot replicate our cities to be like this? To give it, that yes, this is what investments are about, and this is what grows economy. And then we come back home and even to so city or very fine city. I've been to the other city, very fine city. What makes it fine? It's a city that you can find everything that will improve the lives of the people, that make things easier for the people, and then will improve the economy, will create jobs. So what is wrong that it's not applicable in your own place? And you have the opportunity to also tell your people what we find in that area can be done here with the right leadership. I don't know whether you've been to the Dubai city.
I have not. I've been to Dubai.
No, okay. I know you. Most of you
That's what
go to. I have never been to that Dubai city until when I got this proposal. I've been a governor. I still come in with all kinds of proposal with the portfolio and put a PowerPoint and present. I'm not a fan of that. I want something that, yes, you are serious, yes, it can work, not just to come and fake our land and this and that has been the case all the time. So I was invited and I went to Dubai and I went to Dubai City. It is a place where you find everything you talk about in life. It's not only where you talk about the rich men. No. Schools are there, all kinds of business, but see how compact. And so I bought the idea. So when they came, and I said, part of our problem is bureaucracy. And I said, look, I've had this experience of them coming and look, they have $18 billion. They have $10 million. At the end of the day, you don't see anything. Rather, they take your property or your land, as the case may be, to go to bank and collect more funds. When I was staff with the master, it has happened. I don't want to mention them, so that the person will also, I want to national television to embarrass him. A businessman. We have to bring down a popular cultural center for the purpose of it. At the end of the day, nothing happened. So when I became governor, I wanted to take back our property. It became politics. In fact, the person went out to start saying that because it's at a job, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I mean, madness. I just stay away. So that you don't cut this, because it's very, very important. So when I said, listen, what do you want? They said they want social place, and they're going to divide it in phases. So what time limit? They said when they want to go back and then come back and see whether we are ready. So I said, no, we are ready now. We'll take you to where we think. And all those who will be involved must accompany us. The director land, the director surveying, the director development control, the director urban and regional planning. I said, yes. We moved down to the place and they were very happy. I said, okay, what do we do? Can we have the design you want? Director development control, I don't want to hear bureaucracy. Oh, some staff are trying to, sabotage you, you didn't pay this. I don't want that. And I told them, bring the drawings, I will take it and submit it to the development control. Development control, tell them within 24 hours it must be done. And it was done, and they paid the fees. Now, that's okay. Director lands, prepare the documentation for them. However, if in this first phase you are not able to complete the first phase or achieve it, the line reverts back to us automatically. Not where you see people applying for mass housing. 10 years, nobody's doing mass housing. 10 years, they are dividing and selling the land. Look at the problem we had with the Paco. You know where a sunrise is? Sunrise. But a big chunk of land. Paco claimed that the FCT gave them 500 hectares for housing. For how long? Instead of them to develop the houses, Paco started dividing the land, selling. When I came home, I said, no, this is not right. If it's to sell land, government could as well sell the land and make money and develop the city. What happened? All over the television, social media, I'm fighting the Igbos. I'm doing this, I'm doing this. That is the country where you are in. Now, on this investment, which the people have signed, that so-called Abuja Technology Village. Ask who owns Abuja Technology Village. If you see the corruption, Abuja Technology Village is the baby of FCT. FCT provided the infrastructure for more than 20 years. Go and see litigation, grabbing of land. 20 years. Nothing has been done. 20 good years. You go there, they have rented there, you see where tankers, NMPC tankers are parked, they collect money. You see somebody to one side, they corrupt. Oh my God. So you see, so many people are not claiming of having CFOs. I said, I can't understand this. I said, okay, I'm going to solve this problem. That's not called Abuja Technology Village. So when this people now came, politics started. What is the politics? The boy who is there, who said is the acting MD, who made the acting MD? There's nothing like that. We have given 200 hectares, we have signed a memorandum of understanding that they have to do the first phase of this Abuja City work. And if it is not done, we are saying that Mr. President is going to do his 30th anniversary next year. And they have promised us that they are going to complete this first phase. And if, calm down, don't rush. If this first phase is not carried out, the law refers to us. There's no grammar about it. Politics again started. Because it's from social place. Because they now started writing, oh, that investors have come with 660 something million US dollars. This came now because of this investors have come. Meanwhile, you have rented all these lands. I said, no, we will not accept that. Remember, when Mr. President directed that we should renovate, overhaul the International Conference Center, which is our International Conference Center now. Somebody went to court that he was given the job to run. He pays to FCT 50 million naira a year. Are you and I can attest to the whole place was run down. When we shut down the place, politics came. Oh, one senator called me. No, why can you do this? How can you do that? I said, what did I do? Oh, this man is my man. I said, yes, there's nothing wrong. But as a senator, as a citizen of this country, who loves this country, are you happy that that is the International Conference Center? That you host international bodies? You went to what? I ignored it. It's our property. It's not your property. And look at the money we spent. Look at what it is today. You are paying us 50 million naira a year, but we have made over 1.something billion in a month. What is you are paying us 50 million naira a year? So what I want to say, you see, if we don't, you see, leadership will require, people may not like it. People may not like it, but it has to be done. So now, what we are doing now, in that place, I hear somebody say he is going to court. I said, look, it's good. That will not stop us from going on to bring such a project that will change the face of the city, create employment.
I was just about to ask you the benefits. What's the we're hoping to benefit?
Take for example now, as you are building the structure, would there not be people working here? Take for example, I'm just using that as an example. You are creating a hub where so many facilities will be. You spend over $1 billion. What investing $1 billion in an economy? What benefit do you derive? So many things. Look at the constructions of what will be, how the economy will change. And somebody is telling me that because of your selfish interest of renting for over 20 years, makeshift, the government will not move on, the city will not move on, and we have been crying. Not just happening in Abuja. And people, the president has traveled so much of knowing investors that the environment is conducive. We can guarantee you this, guarantee you that. And you are sitting down to sabotage that effort because of your selfish interest. We will not allow that.
Minister, the amenities that you had mentioned that will be in the Abuja City Walk and the other side attractions kind of seems similar to things you would find in places like the Centenary City or even the Renewed Hope City that is springing up in, within the
Where is the Centenary City?
Well, I'm driving somewhere, Honorable Minister. You had mentioned that the first phase of the project will be commissioned by next year, ahead of Mr. President's 3rd year anniversary in office. How is this possible? That within this short time...
Why not? You see, hold on. Sometimes let's ask questions. This is what you have told me. And I said, if you don't do this, the land goes back. So it's not my business. My business is our understanding that unlike where you give out land, like I've told you here, somebody took 500 hectares of land for housing. Where is the housing? You give me a CFO. Nothing to say, if this is not done, the land goes back to a government. And this is how people have used government to make money without carrying out the whole essence of agreement. But if you see what today, we have changed that pattern. I've changed that pattern now, that if you come now to say what you call swap, we'll provide infrastructure in these areas, then we'll use the land. We agree. Let there be a proper documentation from what time to what time. Before, there's nothing like that. And nobody will want. And if you have now come to say, look, this pattern must change, people begin to query it. It was not done there before. The mere fact that it was not there before does not mean it will not be here today. We must have to do things that will make people think that yes, we are carrying out the right thing. And people will have confidence in you.
Okay.
Honorable Minister, I still want to follow up on the issue of you said 45,000 hectares allocated to a health institution. Some thousands of hectares allocated to a health institution that you had to...
It's not health. You get your money to say University of Abuja.
No, the earlier one, when you were talking about some hectares of land allocated that you had to...
Abuja Technology Village.
Exactly. So I want to ask for an update on the 11,000 hectares of land allocated to Abuja that University of Abuja that went bust recently. That's one. Two, don't you think that the level of cynicism and criticisms of your achievements, many of them lauded in Abuja, is as a result of the fact that, yes, I reckon there must be an Abuja master plan, of the fact that it is not visible. For instance, you have in Singapore, people can keep track of development. In Singapore now, people know what next government is going to do. Don't you think that you should make it visible to the public, in which case they can keep track of it? They know, for instance, what's the next thing that
you know what I like us. We're not being realistic. You are seeing what I'm talking about here now. We're being theoretical. Why are we having problems? That even when government has said this is the master plan, somebody comes to destroy the master plan, and you come up to us and say this cannot be. Instead of you to agree that what I'm doing is the right thing, you come with ethnicity and religion. And that is the truth of the matter. That is the truth of the matter. That's the pain of our problem here. I thank God you are here asking this question. But tell yourself the simple truth. Assuming that the man who destroyed that master plan is from your area. No, let us tell ourselves the simple truth. And I've come on board to say, no, this is wrong. We have to go back to what it's supposed to be. Being a journalist, he will come and meet you, see what a WIKE is doing, because he hates the Igbos, he hates the Yorubas, he hates the Hausas, for example. As somebody whom I think should say, listen, tell me the truth. Did you know the story master plan?
Yeah, but isn't this because there is no transparency? Nobody knows
that is the point.
What the master plan is.
Oh, no. What is transparency? The master plan is a document. The master plan is a document. Of course, it's not, for example, if we say, here's a green area, I must be green. Somebody in government comes in, or a director in the ministry, or in the FCT, one way or the other, plays this game. And then, unknown to you, let me tell you, this 500 hectares of land I was saying, that was given to Praco, was signed by a director of lands when the minister had just left. And what did they do? They connived, they went to court without, and serving FCT without the legal department knowing. And even if you know, they take somebody in the legal department to go and concede to the case. You are handicapped.
Honorable Minister, can you just clear up this issue between the Abuja Technology Village and the Abuja City Walk?
No, there's nothing like, there's nothing to
the Abuja Technology Village.
There's nothing to clear about the Abuja Technology Village. There's nothing to clear. I'm the Minister of the FCT. Right? Abuja Technology Village is a creation of the FCT.
Okay. So nobody is going to court
to stop the
Abuja City Walk.
What are you going to court for? Is it the Abuja Technology is who is Abuja Technology Village?
It's a baby of the FCT.
I don't understand.
Because investors have taken you to court. They say they've invested so much. They have the they do have the CEO of the land. And Honorable Minister, you talk about investors.
Can I tell my sister? I have told you here about what has happened in that Abuja thing. I have told you here that for the past 20 years, that government has provided infrastructure for people to come and invest. Did you understand me? And I told you that nothing has happened. What they were doing was to cut some part, give some people, rent out this and that. Is that the investment that you are talking about? Is that what government will provide such level of infrastructure? And let me tell you, nobody will say gazetted by who? By who? Can you help us? Can you help us and give us the gazette?
So all of that have been revoked, and the land reverted back to them.
We have given land to the investors, and investors are going to invest and build on that land.
Investors.
Yes, yes, those who want to invest.
That's the clarification.
That's what I'm saying. So it does not matter anybody. I told you there are so many CFOs there. I told you this.
But is it the fault of the investors?
Who do you call an investor? Excuse me. Who do you call investor? Who do you call investor?
People who bring their money into the country.
Where is the money for 20 years? Where is the money?
What about the Abuja University? University of Abuja.
So okay, hold on. So let us not take that now. Yes. So when you say investor, when you say anybody comes here, I'm an investor. You're an investor for 20 years. Not one block can be put on ground. And you use government land to go to rent and collect money. So that makes you an investor. That is not correct. Now you talk about Abuja University. People should say the truth. Look, the former minister had invoked that land. The former minister. Now, you see, the problem we have, when you revoke and you don't implement, do you understand me? Now it looks like nothing has happened. That's why I said, the problem we have that the inability of previous administrations to implement decisions they have taken. Now, and let us tell ourselves a simple truth. Tell me anywhere in the world where you say university has 11,000 hectares of land. Tell me, let us be reasonable. You can abuse anybody as you choose to abuse. That's not the point. Today, EFCC Academy is in that University of Abuja. Who gave them? Was that the one? If it is your property, EFCC Academy, police have their own property there. And who said this? That's the district, Giri district. No road, nothing. What the university did was to just, if you are going to the airport, from beginning down to Gwagwalada village, what they do? First, they come and wake up. Can I, you probably should take it easy. It's their colleague that asks the question. So let the public also benefit and appreciate what is going on. What you have to do, sometimes you have something, they cut out. They give you. They collect money. What kind of system is this? And we have concerns. There are institutions, here we are getting decongested. You know that. Everything are getting congested. Do you know that? And we have to move. Other plots. I don't know, 4,000 hectares. 1,000 square meter. 10,000 square meter gives you 1 hectare. So what I don't know about 4,000 hectares. 4,000. Now, what the university is saying, oh, there are rocks. Yeah. Beautiful.
That 2,000 up to 2,000 hectares. That is made up of rocks and mountains.
Okay, fine. That's why you're university. If you have rocks, you can turn it to what? Assuming, do not consider. Do you know what it's called about? 2,000 hectares rock. How can people just come and, the nation where in Abuja, that 2,000 hectares of land is rock. People should see, this is one thing we must not do. We must stop this. I will not be minister forever, but I will do the right thing for Christ's sake. If I'm the head of the institution, and you tell me some area will have rock, it becomes economical for me. I will turn it to something that will get money for the university. It's just that nobody wants to use the set to do something. You all want, do you know what's called a rock? Take for example.
Honorable Minister, we have to go to break.
Well, it is because of you. It is because of you. Because, because when we saw all these things, imagine where somebody tells you 2,000 hectares to work. Can that be possible?
It's a question for our audience to ponder.
Can that be possible? People just come and bring blackmail propaganda that government should not proceed 4,000 hectares of land. How many have they developed it today? How many? And we are saying that look, there are institutions. Now EFCC Academy is there. The DSS the above India. Police. And we are saying we have to do roads. All this propaganda, we can stand to do this. I will do what is right. When I leave, whoever that comes, he said, don't want to do this here, this here. But posterity will be. Just remember that as at the time I came, I tried to correct certain things. That's my position.
At this point, we take a break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation and we'll be talking politics. Perhaps also finishing some other questions around the FCT. Please stay with us. Minister of the FCT, NYESOM, WIKE. Honorable Minister, you're trying to finish your thoughts on the issue of the Abuja land, the University of Abuja land. I think two people have.
It's not the University of Abuja land.
Controversy. Maybe I should put controversy at the end of that.
I wanted to ask about the land titles that were revoked.
I can
The land titles that were revoked. You know what? Land titles that were revoked. And I know on account of ground rent.
Just quickly, so
because
follow up on the University of Abuja land controversy. Let them quickly finish that, and you can ask about that.
Minister, you had mentioned that of the revoked land, or rather within the land that is the University of Abuja, you find the EFCC Academy, you find DSS, and so many other institutions. Now, my question is, were these lands given out to them by the University of Abuja, or was it given out by the FCDA without your consent?
What do you mean my consent? Well, is it by us?
Without your approval.
No, what as I came on board, yeah,
whether now or before.
No. You see, what I thought you have asked, without the approval of FCT. But if you are saying by me, you're asking because now I'm as the minister. Not a problem. EFC secretary had been there before I came.
Who gave them the land?
It's from the FCT. That's what I'm asking you. Because the former minister had already invoked this land.
Adesua.
Yes, I was going to ask you, Honourable Minister, have you decided what to do or what will become of the 7,000 you have revoked from the 11,000? I wanted the audience to find out as well.
No, that is a district. So many things will come in place there. Like I told you, DSS has applied and they have a place. Police has applied. But it will no longer going to be just applying. It is going to be, you are planning to use it for what? How long are you going to develop it? If you won't develop from the line will pass automatically. It's not going to be like give DSS 200 hectares. Yes, it remains there for donkey years. No development. No, and then when they say it's not developed, DSS will come out for security, can't build it defense up. Police comes, want to build society academy, you give them. Why would they develop it? 15 years time, nothing has happened. And then you say, look, we can't allow this. Police come, look, nobody can build it here. We are the head of security here. That is our problem.
So quickly.
That's our problem.
Yeah, so I was trying to ask about Mr. President actually gave the grace period of 2 weeks. So what next? What are you going to do next?
But you should know what I'm going to do next.
Because Nigerians want to know because it's more than 2 weeks. It's more than 2 weeks.
That's 2 weeks at last.
Yes.
Without being told. It's unfortunate. And I thank God, Mr. President said 2 weeks, 1 month. We're more than 3 months. That is Nigeria for you.
So what happened?
I'm coming. We have just finished a program of commissioning and commission. When I go home and sleep very well. Very soon, I'm going to seal up us the taxes that are supposed to be paid. He said no. I want us not to do anything. We have listened to Mr. President in his wisdom. Give them 2 weeks. Give them 1 month. We have done that. Some have complied, some have refused to comply. Tomorrow, by the time you start doing this, of course, the normal politics will come up. Sometimes they say, well, you see, this is a political period, it's not good to antagonize voters, this and that, these are businessmen, it's not good to let investors not lose interest in investing, all kinds of things that will be said. I will not listen to that. Bear it in mind, I won't do it. If you have not complied, if you have not paid, we are going to see it on. Just no magic of talking law, talking this. You can blackmail as much as you can go to Arise, pay, stay there for how many hours. We are going to carry it out. We are going. If you like, spend all your time, carry all the CSOs, civil society, let them say anything. This is what we cannot continue to allow in this country. You want good thing, but you don't want to pay for it. Take for example, how many poor people live in Maitama? How many poor people live in Wuse 1 and Wuse 2? How many poor? I mean, we all come up to say all kinds of things. The rich men will go, hire the media, hire people to go to the press, to talk as if they are talking in favor of the poor people. Ask yourself this question. Mention how many poor people will own houses in Maitama here. What are we talking about? Let the truth be told. Let the truth be told. How many people have companies in Maitama, central business area, in Wuse, in Garki? How many poor people?
Let me ask this quick question, sir, on the issue of sanitation in the FCT.
You are not talking about sanitation.
Yes.
Why is the money to carry out the sanitation?
Is it more about money or mobilization?
Mobilization of what?
Mobilization of the people.
To which people?
The what? Cleaners.
The cleaner who will pay them. Why is the money to pay them?
Is it a question of there is no money or a question
No,
of
the point I'm making is this. First of all, have you asked whether the city is owing? Have you asked?
Are we owing?
You don't know that we should owe when you need to pay your taxes?
I pay my tax.
No, I didn't know you pay, but when I check the books, I know whether you pay or not. But the point I'm making, you see, it takes two to tango. The point we are making, and who are these people talking? You see, that's why when you say sanitation, I just wonder. The rich man who lives in Mataba wants the city to be clean. Isn't that correct? But he doesn't want to pay the land rent.
But Minister, your administration has boasted of generating a lot of money via ground rent, and even
when you say a lot of money, the problem you have, when you say a lot of money, if you pay money for 2023 and that money is used for development or cleaning of the area, does it mean you not pay for 2024? So when you say enough money, what is called enough money?
You have a funding problem.
Define enough money. So what?
Are you saying you are having a funding problem, a money problem in the FCT?
Every government has a funding problem, and that's why government blocks all loopholes. That's why in advanced countries, they don't joke with issue of taxes. You can even go free in murder case than going free in tax evasion.
Yes, but truthfully,
but the point I'm making that, to be fair to you, yes, what happened in terms of sanitation is that we have had all these old contractors before now. As I was going on a new procurement process, some people don't have the cap. But you see, in terminating these jobs, it takes a process. It's this contracts were given political basis. Yeah, my brother, can you take the streets for cleaning? What is his capacity? What does he have equipment to do it? And now, by the time you go terminating, it's a process. And like I said, do you know those who are behind it? You don't know. Some of them are people who are politically influential. And sometimes you should be praying for people like us every day. What to see, what to pass through. Or we'll take decision to do the right thing. You see all kinds of comments from everywhere. But you should take the pains to ask questions. You should take the pains to ask questions. It is not easy. When you have the high and mighty living in a city who think that they are above the law. I just told you simple issue of renovate, put the international conference where people can say, yes, it's an international conference. Look at the backlash. Look at the problem.
All right, Honorable Minister, we've spent so much time on the FCT issues. Shall we discuss some little politics? Festus would like to have the first shot.
Yeah, Your Excellency, sir. I don't know if you know that in today's Nigerian politics, you are seen as the archetype of the archetype, a replica of an old Roman god called what's his name now? Who has Janus? Janus has double face. You are a major stakeholder in the PDP. You are also working in an APC government. People are asking whether this says something loud about your political character and personal ideology. If it does, is it recommendable? Is this political character recommendable? Second, Your Excellency, is the fact that now one of your political sidekicks, State Ayodele Fayose, recently called your party, the party where you spent several years as a major stakeholder, what did they call a carcass. Are you happy?
First of all, he has his opinion. He knows why he says it's a carcass. I have never said. So all I thought he should have said, or find out for him, he must have found the reasons why he says it's a carcass. So I cannot. I didn't say it. So I don't know why you should ask me that question if I'm happy. Now, and let me correct that question, please. Next time, don't say people say, I don't know where you are, where people met. So some people say double face. I take exception to to that, serious exception to that. We must like people who will tell you this is what they will do, and they will do. I made it clear. I made it clear. I was not going to support Atiku Abubakar. I did not attend their meetings. After attending their meetings, I went to do a different thing. I said for equity, fairness, and justice, it is the turn of the South to produce the presidency of Nigeria in 2023. I never hid it. So the issue of double face does not arise. They couldn't say they saw me in their campaign. I spoke in their favor, and then I went and did a different that would have been double face. So from day one, I said no. Two. And I said, I'm not going to support them. Who am I going to support in the South? And there are two parties, two alternative parties. You had the APC, I had the, what do you call it, what's it called now? I don't know. Okay, but I hardly remember some of these parties that I have. So this it says Labour Party. And I looked at it. Who, first of all, in my own judgment, in my own opinion, will stand to win that election? Two, who has the capacity to take away Nigeria from where we were? That's my own judgment. And I was right. And Bola Tinubu won the election because I was right and said he has that tendency that he is going to win. Two, doesn't have what it takes to bring Nigeria out from where Nigeria was. So that judgment, I'm right today. Now on issue of me working in APC government, we forget history. Why is it that? That's why I said you shouldn't have asked that question. Bola Ige was a which party when he became Attorney General of the Federation under Obasanjo. So Bola Ige had a double face.
Well, no. His party.
He did what?
The problem.
No, what was the problem? I didn't know that you were a major player. I didn't know that you were a major player.
I reported the activities.
No, you see, that is the problem. When once you have pitched your tent, you don't want to put out yourself. You don't want to put out yourself. And our questions mostly are based on where your interest lies, which is not correct. Which is not correct. Now, what is the problem in PDP? If you are saying that, look, you are no opposition party, are you not supposed to be the one to put your house in order to fight the ruling party? And when you say put your house together, you are being accused of another. It's okay. What is happening in PDP today? Have I not predicted it before now? So what is something that if I'm giving you, but look, if you don't do this, see what's going to happen. It's not in your place to say, let us put so that this thing will not happen.
Okay, Honorable Minister, let's talk about those predictions that you made. You insisted that Senator Sam Anyanwu will be the national secretary of your party. Today he is.
I did not insist. I said the law should be obeyed.
Well, he is.
No, so if he is the one I insist.
Honorable Minister, you also said you were going to remain in the PDP and fight it to the end. Today, you are still a member of the PDP.
Yes.
Those you describe as buccaneers and vampires, you say have left your party.
Yes.
And there have been defections.
Yes.
But do you think that your party is out of the woods? The crisis is over, especially when the President Bola Tinubu, continues to infer to your party as the sinking ship.
He's entitled to. Just like I'm entitled to say anything about a party. Now, but let us get it clear. I never insisted that Sam Anyanwu must be. I insisted that the right thing must be done. If the right thing to be done is that Sam Anyanwu should be, if that is here, titled that, oh, I insisted. If the law takes place, so be it. And the law has taken place. And I don't know the second prophecy said I did.
But you remain in the PDP, you will not defect. Then the
No, I said I'm
going
going to remain in PDP, and which I'm still in PDP. And that's why I said that the right thing must be done. I will not leave this party, which I have done everything for the Buccaneers and vampires. If I had left the party, the Buccaneers and vampires would have remained in PDP to come and collect tickets.
Is the crisis over?
Well, it is over for now. Because there are still some things remaining, which I've told them they must do. One is our South Zonal Congress that was held must be upheld. There's no two ways about it. Now, when we were doing our South Zonal Congress, the acting chairman claimed that the PDP governors were not in support of that zonal congress. Where are the PDP governors now? Where are they?
So, Honorable,
our congress was held in Canada, and there's nothing anybody can tell us. If they want another round of crisis, so be it. That congress must be the chief Darabi emerged as the national vice chairman of the congress. The court allowed it for the congress to hold. Congress was held. The so-called acting national chairman of the party, when I wrote a letter to INEC, congress was held on Saturday. Say, for example, on the 5th. And you wrote a letter on the 8th, for example, that Congress has been postponed. Something was held on the 5th. And the 8th, it was postponed. So there are two ways about it. The national vice chairman of PDP South is Chief Dan Obi. If they don't agree, that's another round of crisis. Two, the South East Congress, which they produce Adeodefa, cannot stand. Adeodefa, the court affirmed, is no longer a member of the party. You cannot. You cannot. You see, these are the things I tell people that what I don't like is impunity. And for somebody like me, we will not condone it. I will not allow it. We will fight it except they correct it. They said they're going for their convention.
Their convention? Are you not part of it?
yeah, the convention.
When you have not corrected it,
The convention is in November.
It's in November.
let us wait. Let the matter, first of all, there's still time for them to resolve it. Before we talk about the convention. Resolve the matter. Resolve the matter. If the matter is not resolved, there will be crisis.
Okay, sir. Honorable Commissioner, Honorable Minister, how do you see the opposition coalition?
What
Like
that?
the coalition?
What is that?
The coalition.
Coalition of
Yes, the coalition.
Coalition of who and who?
Should I mention the name of the party? The ADC.
Listen. If you say ADC,
ADC.
how is it the coalition? What makes them coalition? What is the coalition?
So what's your question on
So a lot of people.
So how do you see this? Will they be able to survive
These are people
even next year?
all their political nature have been known from the campaign going from one party to the other. So every political period you do coalition. Every political period you do a coalition. Every political period you do coalition. Which you see, if you say some people have joined ADC, it's okay. It's not the first time they have joined new parties. Take for example, it is in their atmosphere that this is what they are going to do. That you can't change it. I think it was in PDP in 1999. You forgot?
No.
You forgot?
No.
Under Passenger had problem with you, is that correct? Later you joined who?
Yes.
AC.
Yes.
Which AC was controlled by who? Was controlled by who? Not by the president now. First, say speak out.
We're asking questions.
Now, no, you can't. Now, what happened to you after AC came back to PDP? Is that correct? Is that not correct? Then what happened? He moves again to APC. It's not correct. From APC again, he came back to PDP. Is that not correct? Is that not correct?
Yeah.
Just to get presidential ticket every time. Then, from PDP now, he has gone to where again?
APC.
Kai. So, you see, let me tell you. You tell me. I don't know. If I'm his son, I will sit him down. I said, Dad, for whatever it's worth. It's just, how can you tell me as your son, you have made this history of jumping from one party to your almost 80-something years? How?
But sir, they say they want to rescue Nigeria.
Hold on. Rescue what? Who has sank? You were VP for 8 years. You were VP for 8 years. You are the chairman of National Economic Council. What happened?
Honorable Minister, your ground seems to be with the former Vice President.
No. I'm taking one by one.
Are you undermining?
No. Allow me.
Yes.
I want the viewers to you ask, and you are talking about coalition. I said you call coalition because that means coalition.
So you have only taken one person.
I'm just explaining. I will take another person.
Are you undermining the group of people who have left? No, don't forget that members of the APC have also left. Some people have left the APC and are also a part of this ADC.
That's what was our political history. People leave one party to the other party. That is, and join PDP. Some people left PDP and joined the APC. Some people are not even APC because of one interest or the other. Ask me. What are you doing coalition for? What's the rescue?
If it's not a coalition, what would you call it?
You are the one who gave them. I said people join a party. People join one party they call ADC. Let me tell you why they have to do that. It is difficult now for them to have it in PDP. All this has to do with. Then he cannot get the presidential ticket under PDP.
What do we say about Senator David Mark?
There was pressure that the Mark was a slave pressure for 8 years. What are the things that happen? What is improvement? I have told you here, I prefer somebody who has not had any position, who has come to tell me that, look, I'm doing this because this government, I want to help for a change, to achieve this and that. I will not listen to anybody who has been in power for donkey of years, who has refused to contribute anything to the development of the country. And now you come now to tell me this story that, look, we need to rescue this country. You were there, the country was sinking. You didn't rescue.
Minister, earlier when you were talking about the 2023 general elections, you wanted to talk about Labour Party, and you said that you hardly remember such names. However, in the last 4 weeks, we have seen you meet with top political generals and lieutenants in Nigeria's politics.
What I mean, well, there are two parties then that will make choice, since I was not going to support Atiku Abubakar. So part of the problems we have, you people, when you ask questions, you will ask questions that people will fully, and before they go home now, and they begin to interpret. Governors came to me, they are my friends, we relate. I was a governor. They asked me questions, and I also asked them questions. How are you doing this? How are you doing this? When you were there, how did you do this? Now, he said, Abure came, of course, he's a politician. I'm a politician. What is wrong when politicians meet themselves? Just like you journalists you meet. Is there any crime that you meet?
So there's no political undertone to it ahead of 2027 general elections.
Undertone
to the meeting.
Why would I want to tell you what I'm planning against 2027?
So you are planning something.
Why would I'm not a politician? But why should I come and let you know what I'm doing? What is the
political interpretation to that meeting outside?
Yes.
Is that you
are probably the hand that is stoking Julius Abure's confrontation or disagreement or dispute, if you prefer, with the candidate of the party, the Labour Party. Yes, you are the one stoking that crisis between the two of them.
So who's the one talking the problem we have in our state? If I'm the one talking, look, let me tell you. Anyway, I'm not here to help anybody who's my opponent. If they're having problems, it's my prayer. Yes.
We saw this reconciliation between yourself and the suspended Governor Fubara. And a lot of people had hoped that in the spirit of reconciliation and goodwill, especially since this peace was brokered by the president, that by now we would have seen the lifting of the suspension and perhaps a reinstatement of Governor Fubara. Is there any conversation going on in that regard?
Was I part of those who declared a state of emergency?
Aren't you curious as to what exactly is delaying the restoration of democratic governance back in Rivers State?
Oh, I didn't know that what you're talking about. But the process now to restore democratic governance. Is that not? Is that not?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
No, you see, I've never seen people with that who have made peace. Means that when the governor comes back, that peace will continue. The whole thing you're talking about is not just about government. It has to do with the entire system. You need to heal once. You have seen the governor say, look, that if President Tinubu did not declare state of emergency, that he would have been impeached. So what does it tell you? I'm comfortable that happened, so that we would have all made peace. And by the time we come, we all work as a team. Do you want to rush just because you want the governor, and at the end of the day, you have not made any peace? And today, they have started taking to restore democratic governance, at least in the local level.
Let's talk about that. Your party, the PDP, had primaries to pick candidates for the local government election that is about to involve. My findings reveal something very curious, which is this kind of alliance between the PDP and the APC, not to oppose each other. I'm telling you what I found out.
But you're telling me that for the first time.
I don't know.
But that would be unfair.
Okay, let me put the question and then you tell me if it is not correct.
Okay.
What I gather is that in most local governments, there's that working alliance between the PDP and the APC, where the chairmanship candidate is on the platform of the PDP, the vice chairman will be from the APC. And if it's from the APC, the vice chairman will be from the PDP. And that
was what about business? Listen, why not be patient for research to publish those who are participating, those who are not, and before you jump to conclusion. Now, assuming they're not conceding that what they are saying here is an alliance. What is wrong with an alliance that will bring peace in a state? Assuming they're not conceding. What do you like where you'll be having problems? No. Assuming that is even the arrangement. Would you not be happy that for once that politicians can sit to say, look, let us not do, if that is correct, then encourage them. But for now, I am not aware